This is your life, this Harrods, London, and the lady I'm hoping to surprise has popped in here to do some shopping, but not for those crumpled stockings. Well, now, this couldn't have been on the shopping list anyway, could it? No, it couldn't. Or all your friends from Crossroads, or that we can say to you, tonight, Kathy Staff, this is your life. Well, my thanks to Ronnie Allen, Sue Lloyd, Stan Stennett, Sue Hanson, Paul Henry, and all at Crossroads. They really did surprise you out of that lift today.
Oh, they did.
Kathy Staff, this is your life in real life. A wife, a mother, an actress. On the screen, a woman of many parts, including, of course, that maid of all work in Crossroads, Miss Luke. Kathy, because our television fiction is taken so factually, as we were in fact talking about, Crossroads for millions is a real motel. So it is all the more a tribute to your special talent that you have us believing just as deeply in Nora Batty, the saggy stocking sex symbol in Last of the Summer Wine.
Eamon, first job I ever had in the holidays from RADA for £2.10 a week was in a rep at the end of the pier at Sheerness, where I had the pleasure, in a play called While Parents Sleep, of making love to Cathy in a diaphanous negligee. 10 years later, I was up at Granada doing television, and I dug Cathy out from Ashton-under-Lyne, where I met her husband and found that she'd become a housewife. Well, by the end of the dinner, we'd changed all that, and that set her back on the course that made her the star she is today.
Well, Kathy, with your interest in acting renewed, you start getting small television and film roles, among them in 1962, the part of a caring neighbour in the film A Kind of Loving, in which Catherine, who was then just 6, also appeared.
Come along, Catherine, now it's time to come in. Come on, there's a good girl. Bring your bicycle.
I'm locked out. You don't know where they've gone, do you?
They've gone to the hospital. Didn't your mother ring you up? It was just after 2 o'clock, love. She fell down the stairs. Come on, Catherine, there's a good girl. He didn't know anything about it.
Catherine, that acting experience as a child didn't inspire you to follow in Mum's footsteps?
Well, I suppose it seemed a nice idea at the time, Eamon, but later on I realised just how much hard work Mum put into it, and I decided that I wasn't going to follow in her footsteps.
Susan, you were also supposed to be in that film.
That's right, but the garden was too small for both of us to be on back tricycles. So I used to tell people that I was actually in the house behind the curtains. But while Mum was doing her scenes, I was actually sitting on the producer's chair, being fed crisps by the rest of the cast.
Well, Kathy, your big television break comes in 1969 when you land a leading role in a New Yorkshire television serial, Castle Haven. You start making the 50-minute rail journey to Leeds every morning. And one morning, the train grinds to a halt in a tunnel and gives no indication of ever starting again. And as the minutes tick by, your regular travelling companion is getting more and more nervous.
That's true.
And a few minutes later, the other passengers thought I was about to throttle you.
He's flown here from the south of France on his one-night break on a cabaret engagement, comedy actor Roy Barraclough. Roy, how did the passengers get the idea you were about to wring Kathy's neck?
Well, you see, we played a rowing man and wife in the series, you see.
Yeah.
So Kathy suggested we should rehearse the lines so that when we got there, at least we'd know the damn thing, you see. So if you've tried rehearsing a row scene sotto voce in a crowded railway compartment, it's not easy. And we got louder and louder and louder, and all the passengers were looking at them. We got off our rockers. And when the train pulled into Leeds, an hour and a half later, needless to say, we didn't stop to take a call.
No. Thank you, Roy Barraclough. Now, it may surprise a lot of people, Kathy, to know that you first appeared in Crossroads in 1971, not as Doris Luke, but as Mrs. Dingwall, a totally different character from the one we know you today. But in 1978, you were invited back to the Crossroads Motel as the kind-hearted maid, Doris Luke. Now, Paul Henry, you, of course, play Benny. Kathy is the closest person to you in Crossroads.
Yes, we're not only close in Crossroads, but we're great mates as well. She's a smashing person. Bit loud first thing in the morning.
He says I laugh too much.
And I'm very proud to be the second woolly hat in her life. Mr. Billowy being number 1.
Kathy, 1982 was a very memorable year for you, not only because you were seen by millions on American television in separate tables, but the making of that play also reunited you with the man who gave you your first ever film role in A Kind of Loving. Right now, he's working in Mexico. But on that screen, we're taking you to Mexico City to hear from the internationally famous Oscar-winning film director, John Schlesinger.
Hello, Eamon. Hello, Kathy. I'll never forget the first week of shooting A Kind of Loving because it was very new for me and I was terrified. And I think you were working about the second or third day of shooting in the little next-door neighbor scene. And you were very kind and helpful to me, and I shall always remember that. So thank you, and very good luck and all my best wishes. I wish I could be with you tonight, but it's not possible, so have a terrific time, all of you.
As John has told us, you're a devout churchgoer. You're a member of the choir at the church you've attended since childhood, and although today your home is 35 miles across the Pennines from that church, you make the journey back whenever you can. And Kathy, that's where we're taking you now, to St. Mark's Church, Duckenfield, where remarkably every single member of the choir singing for you now is a relative of yours, and of course singing your favorite hymn.
Congratulations from everyone at St. Mark's, from your two uncles and all your cousins who are singing your favourite hymn. And Kath, on this special night for you, I'd like to record my special thanks to you for the help you gave in keeping my spirits up during my long stays in hospital. Whenever you came to see me, you always managed to find time to visit all the other patients and help them. In fact, nobody can be down in the dumps with you about. Have a good night, and God bless you.
Kathy, one more thing. With that hectic schedule of yours, you travel thousands of miles a year with John doing the driving, and yet, besides that and your work, you still have time for charities, time for singing in your church choir, and time even for your newest friends, as somebody discovered when you worked together for the first time in a play last summer.
Yes, Kathy. That was the time the sex symbol of the small screen met the sex symbol of the big screen.
That momentous meeting was for the play The Mating Game at Scarborough. Your good friend, Barbara Windsor. In fact, Barbara, you remember the time you and Kathy worked together last summer for a rather special reason.
Well, yes, we arrived at Scarborough at the theatre. There was this great big hoarding, and on the left there was a big picture of me in a corselet, and on the right there was a picture of Kathy as Nora Batty scowling at me. And above it said in great big headlines, "Come and see what happens when the sex symbol of the big screen," that's me, meets the sex symbol of the little screen. And God knows what they thought would happen. I mean, we just had a wonderful time, didn't we? And it was a lovely time for Kathy, because John had just retired, and you was on your second honeymoon, weren't you?
Yeah. Sort of.
Yes, kept going off. But I tell you what, Eamon, I was having one of my traumatic moments. You know, I've been getting a lot of those lately. And I tell you something, this lovely couple, they looked after me. They used to take me out to Dainty Teas and sandwiches. And, well, I'm going to Jersey this year, and you're not coming with me, and I shall miss you, and I'm going to cry.
Thank you, Barbara Windsor.